You're rolling on my end.
All right, speed. Just say rolling. Hi, this is Chad Williams and Konner Klein here with Two Fangs. This is a podcast, first one ever, I might add, for the Diamondbacks baseball, Arizona organization, what have you. Essentially, Konner, would you help me out and try to explain a little bit of what we're trying to do here with Two
Yeah,
Fangs?
yeah, I got you. So what we're doing here is it's going to be a bi-weekly podcast. That means every other week we're going to be coming at you with some updated news for the casual Diamondbacks fan. Everything you want to know and you should know to have a quality conversation around the water cooler at the office. So again, this is the first ever podcast, and so thank you for joining us here. So we're going to be getting right into it here. So let's talk about where we are with the D-backs right now. Where are we standing, Chad?
The D-backs have had a couple rough weeks, I will say. It all started just before the All-Star break, as I'm sure we all know. Yasiel Puig floated over here from Cuba and floated into the nightmares of every D-backs fan that I know personally. Essentially, we kicked off this week about a game or a half game behind the Dodgers, and essentially what happened is we opened up after All-Star Weekend with a 4-game set against the Cubs. Now, I had the pleasure of watching a couple of these games on the television, and it was a rough series. There were some ups, there was definitely some downs. Inevitably, we split it 2-2. We had a strong showing again from our boy Patrick Corbin. He was sharp as always, and even more exciting during the whole thing was a big trade that happened off the field. That included Alfonso Soriano leaving the Cubs organization, ultimately going to the New York Yankees.
And
Now,
you
Konner,
and you'd think we'd benefit that from the fact that Soriano left the Cubs and then the Cubs come travel to Phoenix, but playing against a somewhat subpar organization like the Cubs,
sure.
we can't be going up against them and only winning 2 games. Those are the teams we got to sweep, just like the Padres, just like the Giants here. So I know we had a 12-inning game versus the Cubs, which is we ended up losing, and I just got to say thank you to the Diamondbacks organization to making sure that our fans have enough time to sober up throughout the entire season from holding them there for extra innings. Thanks for looking out for all the fans, you D-backs owners and players. But that's what we got. We got to get away from that. We got to start closing out games when we can. We got to start getting that closing mentality out and you're really seeing things through to the end and starting getting some more W's.
Konner, I'm glad you brought that up. This is a team full of young guys, young arms in the bullpen, as well as some veterans on the field. You hit the nail on the head when you said these are teams that we're supposed to beat. You brought up the Padres. We just actually lost a series to them 2-1, including a 1-0 loss today with our ace on the mound. That shouldn't happen, but they are fun to watch, and it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen going forward. You mentioned the 12-inning game that we had against the Cubs that we inevitably lost, and one bright spot this week was the emergence of Brad Ziegler as our closer. Now, for all of you D-backs fans that don't know, Brad Ziegler was the wily left-hander. He's got a weird delivery. He came in a lot of games this year in the 7th and the 8th inning to kind of hold him on for Heath Bell, who inevitably seemed to just take a big old fart right on the game every single time, and he actually got moved out. But Brad Ziegler, I'm happy to say, is 3 for 3 in his closed opportunities. He's closing out the games, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. It has been fun to watch. And I want to move forward here with this, Chad. Tell me, what are some steps to getting back where we need to be as a team? You talked about Ziegler getting more involved. I know we got to get Hernandez out of there. Personally, I think every time Gibson puts him in, it's just like I questioned Gibson, hey, how long have you been around the game of baseball? How many more times do you need to see this guy mess up before you stop putting him in the game? And frankly, I'm getting frustrated with Gibson. Frankly, I'd rather have Goldschmidt out there in the mound because at least I know he's going to try hard. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about some more areas of how we can improve as a team.
Konner, I think it all starts with hitting right now. You got a team that basically has run itself out of some games with some poor pitching. But what I really think is going to happen going forward is we need some more bats to step up. I mean, these bats got to get going, and they got to get going quick. Goldschmidt, as you said, I'd love to see him out there pitching. Maybe he could make it happen. He's done everything else for this team.
Goldschmidt. Let's go back into Goldschmidt. This guy's having a hell of a year. He's a hell of a player. I like the guy how he is on and off the field. 303 batting average, 23 home runs. He's got 118 hits on the season. He actually touched the plate 66 times going around those bags. He's got 10 stolen bases on the year. The guy's got it going on. I'm thinking we get going with this interleague play. We start playing some American League teams. He's playing first base, getting a at-bat as a first baseman. What do you say we double up and give him a DH spot as well? How do you feel about that, Chad? Talk to me here.
Strong. A quick side story. I saw Goldschmidt at a Subway about 3 days ago. No joke. Guy orders a 12-inch meatball marinara and an Italian BMT, I believe. No drink. Weirdest thing I've ever seen, but I think it works for him, and I'll be excited to see what his next sandwich order is with all this production that we've been getting out of him.
Nice. Now, talk to me about Marcin Prado. Prado seems like a real fancy player out there. You've seen him at the hot corner. You've seen him at second base. Yeah, he botches a ground ball here and there, but he is an excellent hitter. He's really been coming along. Tell me, how do you feel about Prado?
Prado is as shiny as the necklace he dons on his neck. Prado, as you may or may not remember, came over in that Justin Upton trade, along with Randall Delgado, who pitched in that 10-0 victory on Friday. He pitched a complete game, and Prado, as you said it, he plays on the corner, the hot corner. He also can play pretty much every other position other than first. And he's seen some time in the outfield. He's an exciting player to watch. You know, he's been hot as of late, and that's what the Diamondbacks thought they were getting when they sent their young phenom over to Atlanta to play hopscotch with his brother over there. Anyways, yeah, I think it's good. It'll be interesting to watch him going forward. I think he needs to come alive for our D-backs going forward.
I would agree.
Konner, I'm looking forward. You mentioned to me before we were on the radio a couple of interleague games coming up. What's going on with that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to bring in our special guest here. His name's DB FastTalker. He's from the West. DB's going to be able to give you some insight about this interleague play and some other very interesting things in regards to the D-backs. DB FastTalker, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
DB, tell me, what's going on, baby?
Well, you know, this time of year, it's starting to become boring in baseball, and the All-Star game's beyond us. The American League took it to the National League, and this time of year we get a chance to see some of the American League teams visit our ballpark, as well as us going to their ballpark to see and play some baseball. Now, in the American League ballparks, we will be able to use the designated hitter, and that's where we think that it might be advantage to the Diamondbacks to put Paul Goldschmidt as DH, as well as bat him as the first baseman, get him some extra at-bats, up to 8 or 9 at-bats a game, and I think that'll benefit the ball club in the American League cities. Now, in the National League cities, there is no diamond. There is no DH. The pitchers bat for themselves. And, you know, for the classic, for the purists out there, they like that kind of baseball. But, of course, it takes a bat out of the lineup. So it's an advantage to the pitchers. And, of course, the managers in the National League have to manage differently. Now, Kirk Gibson, of course, grew up and played in the Detroit system, a superstar from the Tigers, so he's very familiar with the American League, and he should do quite well with the American League ballparks. But the double switch, of course, is very, very popular in the National League ballparks, and that's exactly what he'll have to do. So will the American League ball clubs be able to keep up with the double switch concepts in the National League ballparks? And I think that's bodes well for the Diamondbacks. Now, I'd like to tell you a little something before I have to get out of here. And it's about Miguel Montero. Now, you know, he was not playing this past few days. He did play today, and but he hadn't played the 3 previous games, and a lot of people thought it because he had a bad back, and he did have a bad back, but I have news for Diamondbacks fans. It wasn't a baseball-related injury. Nope. There was a big monsoon that came through our area a few days ago, and of course he has that beautiful Paradise Valley home. It was absolutely deluged by water. He had 6 inches of water in and throughout his house. His brand new Ferrari floated. It was actually seen floating away from his Paradise Valley home. So I have this upon good authority. He was actually bailing the house out with a bucket of water and hurt himself. So it's good to have him back. It's good to have the weather. And thank you very much. I'm out of here.
Thank you, DB FastTalker. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, DB. We really appreciate that. You know, that's something we're trying to do. Guys like DB FastTalker, he's constantly around our woods, knocking on our door, wanting to get on the air. And that's essentially what we like to bring this podcast family. It's an opportunity to hear from the fans themselves, the ones that really understand what's going on. And DB, we appreciate it. Konner, now I'm looking forward. I think we've touched on everything we wanted to look at. Just wanted to talk about 2 Fangs before we got off. The first Fang I want to talk about is Adam Eaton. You know, we're like we said going forward, we got a big American League schedule coming up here, and I think Adam Eaton is going to be the answer to all of our problems going forward. This guy's fast. He's hungry, he steals bases, he runs through hold-up signs, as we saw in one of the games this week, and it'll be interesting to watch him going forward. I'm curious as to what one Fang you want to talk about prior to closing out this first podcast.
Well, the second thing I want to talk about is getting Aaron Hill back to the 2B spot. I think, we've had some problems with our in-between play between Didi Gregarious and, whoever we do put at second base. But once we get Aaron Hill back, he is going to be, the missing piece. I think we put him and Didi together. We're going to be turning more double plays, rolling up those double plays more than we have before. Definitely a player that we've been missing in the past. We missed his glove, and we've definitely missed his bat. So with him coming back, feeling very, very good about the future for the D-backs, feeling very good about our pitching moving forward. I know Corbin got that loss today while getting that, only allowing 1 run, but we keep having outings like that. We will find ways to win while we get our sticks back up and running. So very confident about the D-backs moving forward, thinking that, we do need to find a way to get Goldschmidt some more at-bats, but, like DB said, we are getting into that interleague play, and, that is something we can look forward to.
Exactly. Well, perfect. So, with that said, is there anything else you want to touch on?
You know what? I think this is a good closing point for the first ever 2 Fangs Diamondbacks podcast for the casual Diamondbacks fan. Moving forward, we want to get some more customer and audience interaction with this show. Follow us on Twitter at 2 Fangs Arizona Diamondbacks, subject to change. We also we want you to get involved with hashtags via Facebook, via Twitter, via Instagram. Anything you guys think is relevant to talk about on our podcast, please hashtag it, get us involved. Again, at 2 Fangs Diamondbacks on Twitter.
Thank you so much for listening to our first podcast. We look forward to bringing you more going forward. This is Chad Williams and Konner Klein signing off. Thank you.